I wrapped 99% of the gifts.
I can't wrap presents. And the ones that I do,
horrible.
It's very clear as day who wrapped it.
Horrible. She might as well just throw it in a plastic bag.
Merry Christmas!
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another weekly check-in.
Week 4.
Week 4 with Everything with TNC. This past week was Christmas, so hopefully everyone got some time that they were able to spend with their families and loved ones. And before we get into this week's conversation, just to talk about what Christmas really means and the purpose of Christmas. So Christmas is a holiday that recognizes and celebrates the birth of Christ. So for Christians, December 25th, we acknowledge, even though technically we don't know if he was actually born on December 25th, that's just the day that we choose to celebrate Christ's birth. And, if you don't know the story, check out your Bible or drop a comment. I'm more than willing to give you a full recap story. But this week was really, really busy because family moving around, bouncing around. And then we have my family, we have Chelsea's family. So lots of things going on this week. So hopefully we can give enough of a recap.
First thing I wanted to do was we did have someone in the comments ask a question for us, and they asked who loves who more. I am not even about to debate this because every time I want to say like I love you more, like you very, very clear that you love me more.
Yes, it is established. It has been proven. And I have receipts. So, yes.
I have literally physical receipts.
I have receipts. Physical, emotional, mental, everything. So.
But you know what? That's cool because I know it's a thing where it's like it is spoken. I was going to say unspoken, but it is a thing where they tell the women to make sure you find a man that loves you more. Even though I disagree. I think we love each other just the same. But they do say, find a man that loves you more.
But no, what's funny about that saying is the first time I heard it was, women should find a man that loves them and learn to love them back. That's the first version.
No.
That's the first version.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway.
That sounds unfulfilled and very unhappy.
Miserable. Yeah. But
anyways, growth, struggles, and accountability. Those are our 3 topics for our weekly check-in. The first thing we will talk about is growth. So how did we grow this week?
I would say I was a lot more patient.
Yes, you were.
It's a lot going on with the holidays, wrapping up from work. So last week I talked about struggling with anxiety a little bit, financially worried about buying gifts and all the different things. But I think being patient with both Chelsea as well as myself was something that I was able to really, really do well this week, as well as not fall into that feeling of anxiety and worry. Just taking things a day at a time, being in the moment, enjoying the moment as is.
I think what also helped with that, especially when it came to the gift giving, we kind of wrote out the people and just like made sure like we did have something for everyone, whether, expensive or not expensive, just still having something there for everyone. That really took the stress out of it. And we got to be a little creative with the gifts because we didn't want to spend too much. So that was nice. It was cool.
Christmas time, people really, really spend a lot of focus on just buying things for the sake of buying things. And hopefully you didn't have that experience this year and you really got a chance to just spend time with family and reflect and just, enjoy each other.
Yeah, shout out to one of my cousins. She pulled up hand swinging. She didn't have a gift for nobody. But you know what? Her presence was good enough. And that I can respect. Just show up, have a good time, and be who you are. Spend time with your family, create memories.
And then also this week, I did a lot more listening as we were planning for time with family. We were trying to figure out what we're going to do the next couple of days leading up to the new year. And then just day to day, digesting, listening more, allowing you to lead in the different moments. And it was actually peaceful. And it also felt like I didn't have as much stress because I didn't have to control and worry about a lot of things. To be more specific.
See what happens when you let me lead a little bit? Stress-free. Look at you. Happy. You are happy.
You're on a good streak. You're on a good streak. But no, just to be more specific, typically get up in the morning, I'm always like, okay, what's going on? What's the plan? What are we doing today? And really just trying to dictate and control the pace of the day. But this past week was just more, okay, go with the flow, start the day a little later than usual, or not rush to get as many things done just for the sake of getting things done, and just a different groove and a different vibe. It actually was helpful. And I think that played into me not having as much anxiety, and also just being able to be more patient because I was in that space of just being calm, listening.
Yeah. We definitely were in a space of gratitude as well. Like, we've been in a very loving state toward each other as well. But just being in gratitude, I have been randomly praying a lot as well. Very random. Like, whenever I just feel the need to do it, I'm not questioning or going like, well, this isn't the best time. It's like, no, literally just do it. Just pray. Like, it's okay. Randomly crying a lot too. I cry a lot, so I try not to voice every time I cry to you. But it's all been
it though.
It's all just like tears. Even like right now, I want to cry. But it's tears of like gratitude and just being so thankful to God for everything. You know, I am so serious and I'm getting so emotional. But it really just like being thankful to God for everything, for my family, my friends, for all the wonderful, just like, the great things that are happening in everyone's life, not even just ours, just, our friends, our family, like we hear great things.
Well, I'll give you a break from the tears, but I think the last growth thing for me was just mentally preparing for the new year, 2025, spending some time reflecting on 2024 and really just, okay, what do I want the next year to look like? And we even had a conversation about it briefly last night. But yeah, just being in that space of just what's coming up, what's next, what do I want to accomplish individually as well as collectively as a couple. So
for me, growing,
yes.
I had visited family in Florida. This was a week ago, I want to say.
Yeah, the Friday before Christmas.
Yeah.
You went.
So I already have met them before, but that's when I was a lot younger. So now as an adult, I'm meeting basically my mom's cousins. And it was a great time. Like, that part of the family, I'm like, oh, I wish I knew you guys sooner. They like to dance, drink, party, play games. That's my kind of people. Just being able to meet those family and bond with them, it actually re-inspired me to like actually get my Facebook together so that way I can keep in touch with other family. Like, family is just so important. And because I have such a large immediate family, I feel like I'm good. I like the circle around me. But honestly, my circle is just so much bigger than that. And I really want to be able to touch base with everyone. But while I was on the flight going to Florida, I was editing.
Well, before, because the delays, remember?
Yeah. That's the thing. Before, during, everything. Yeah, I had a very long delay. It was a 7-hour delay. Crazy. Wow. JetBlue. But they did credit us back money, so that's good. But no, I was editing on the plane. That was great. I felt very productive.
You also learned some new techniques. Right?
Yeah. I've been learning a lot. Like, that's my whole thing. Like, I forgot who it was that asked me, but they were just like, "Oh, what happens if it doesn't work out?" And my answer was just like,
"It will.
It will, because I'm not gonna stop." And we were talking about this the other day. I think it was actually yesterday. But I believe that honestly, people never really fail. They just stop. Like, whatever the reason is that you stop, it is what it is. But you never really fail at anything until like
you stop.
Yeah, you just stop. I mean, there's plenty of reasons that's why people stop. But yeah. So I'm just not gonna stop. Like, I'm gonna continue to do what it is that I'm enjoying doing and just see where it goes. But I don't believe that it's not gonna go where I want it to go.
Yeah. And I think your mindset has a lot to do with how things can turn out, because if you don't even believe that what you're doing is going to work, then why would you expect it to?
Yeah.
And, affirmations are a thing, and your words do have power and influence. So if you think about everything that you have right now, at some point you said you would get it. So whether it's where you live, the clothes, the car, the job, at some point you said out of your mouth, or maybe thought to yourself, I'm going to get this. So the same way how all of those things came to pass because you thought it and you had that desire and you spoke it into existence and then it existed. It's the same that anything you put your heart to, whether it's fashion, creativity, art, music.
And that just goes back to remembering that you're living in an answered prayer, which also goes back to me being super emotional randomly all the time, because I just keep remembering that, like, everything right now, even like as small as it may be, we're living in answered prayers, like literally living in answered prayers, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I also worked while I was sick. That was like stressful, but I couldn't do nothing else because I was sick. So I'm like, I'll just be productive.
So was that a growth moment? Working through illness?
Yeah, because I feel like usually I'll be like, oh, I just want to watch TV, forget it.
That is true.
Like, I just want to watch some movies, but I did work through my sickness. So while I was editing last week's video, we actually did, if you guys watched it, you'll see that it wasn't a full-blown argument that you guys saw, but in the editing of it, we actually did have a real argument.
Elevated conversation.
Yeah, it really was an elevated conversation. It wasn't really an argument. But we had an elevated conversation, and throughout the episode, I'm watching my mannerisms, and even though everyone has told me that I tend to be a very aggressive person, to be a very passionate human being. I'm a very passionate person. But just watching certain moments in last week's video where I'm like,
the unedited one.
Unedited, even the edited, because I am who I am. I will not cut that out as, this is what we're putting out there. What we're doing is not fake. This is very real. So for me, it's like, to shorten a video, to not make it so long so people are comfortable watching it, I'm going to cut some stuff up. But I never intentionally cut anything out because I looked too angry. Because that's who I am. I am an aggressive human being. So, but what I did realize is I didn't like, just watching it from my own point of view, I didn't like how aggressive I was, even subtly aggressive, like passively aggressive and literally aggressive, or like, just a little spicy. Like sometimes I'm like, all right, you didn't need to be that spicy. Like, why are you reacting this way to your fiance? And it's like, I want to be a little more chill. I want to be a little more princessy, more calm, more just like, okay, a little more passive and not passive aggressive, just literally a little more passive, a little more feminine.
Nah, I'll add to that because it was funny. I got a random, I think you had called me or texted me. And then
I text you,
you just texted me and just saying like, hey, I'm, editing the videos and I'm so sorry. I was so aggressive and stuff like that. But for me, when you're able to, in moments, identify areas that you can grow and improve, I think that's always a win, right? People can tell you, hey, you need to work on this, you need to work on that. But once it clicks for you, that's when change actually happens. So I would agree that is a big growth moment, being able to self-identify that. And thank you for acknowledging. You have your moments.
I do have my moments. Okay, I think that's everything for growth. All right, so for struggles this week, organizing how we're going to go about spending time with each other's family and what to get them. We resolved it well, and we communicated a lot. So that was good. But I will say that was a struggle.
It's a lot because Christmas time, people are off. You want to make as much time for family, take advantage of the moment, take advantage of the holidays. But it's stressful. And depending on the size of the family or friends or how many people that you actually want to spend time with, it does take a toll. I think we were able to get through it, even though it was hard in certain moments and we didn't get to spend as much time with some versus others. I think we still were able to at least spend time with everyone that we wanted to spend time with.
Definitely. The other struggle was honestly just me being sick, and then you kind of got sick. We're still like coming out of the sickness. Like this is a better day.
Yeah.
We actually we juice often. So we had made this, I can't remember everything that was in it, but we did make a juice and it really just helped clear up all the mucus. And like, you actually felt it work. Like I was like, oh, we healthy. Like, but so that was good. That was how we got through that struggle.
On the topic of juicing in cups, we actually had an argument. Elevated conversation.
Elevated. It was a full-blown argument, whatever.
About cups.
Yes. Right? These are not just cups. I collect cups, and not just any cups, very cute cups, right? I have a collection at my father's apartment. I have a collection at my mother's apartment. But now this is my house. I got keys for Christmas, y'all. I'm so mad I don't have the keys with me so I can but I got the keys to the house. So this is my house. Anyways.
I'm gonna let you have your
No, this is our house.
Oh, okay.
So I had a collection at my mother's house. So I decided to bring some of my cups from my mother's house here. So he said I could bring, what was it, like 2? But I actually snuck and brought 2 more cups. Because one, I'm like, this my house. Second, I'm like, these are really cool cups. So this is one of them. They're not just like regular cups. Like, look.
That was already here, by the way.
Yeah, but I brought this one over. Like, I had to slowly bring them over. It's another one. But this is my Jack cup. And they all have interesting little stories behind them. And yeah, I just didn't take kindly to him telling me that I couldn't bring my cups. But I will say that he did. As annoyed as he was about me bringing my cups here, he actually made me something where I could easily hang my cups in the kitchen. And yeah, so it all kind of worked out anyways. But the argument was about me bringing my cups to the house.
And I would say the struggle in that moment was to understand or to listen to where I was coming from. Because I feel like in that moment, you were more concerned with, I want to bring my cups, and you're saying no, but not really understanding what I was trying to explain in terms of, it's not a no, you can't bring the cups. It's let's sort out what we already have here and make space for anything else you want to bring.
Yeah. I would say I was being a bit of a brat because I felt like you were being controlling. It worked out. I still have a lot of cups to bring over here to add to my collection, but so far so good.
Yeah,
I'm content. I'm happy.
But yeah, that was an interesting one.
We've been struggling a little bit with our eating habits and working out. Like I said, it's the week of Christmas. There was a lot going on, so we weren't exactly eating the best. I definitely wasn't. I was stuffing my face with everything my family made. Your family made did not matter. I mean, how did you do with your eating habits?
I mean, my eating habits stay consistent. I don't struggle with that at all.
But
I will say the working out, I didn't get to work out consistently as I would have wanted to the past week. So I'm trying to get back into it. But to my defense, I've been active. So I'm not working out. I'm just sitting around doing anything. Like I am, staying active, like doing a lot of stuff. But no, I want to get back to that routine that I had going. So that way it just becomes more like a everyday situation.
In a continuation to last week 3's video, like we struggled a little bit with abstinence this week. We just been very in love. So when we're very in love, it's kind of like we shouldn't be in the same house.
Yeah. So the reason why we're actually talking about this and being vocal about this is we want to be as authentic and real as possible with our own individual journey.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to, talk about a topic like abstinence, like, abstinence is what we're doing, and, we're great and we're perfect, and all right, you be abstinent too, thumbs up. But the reality is it is hard. And depending on your situation, depending on your circumstance, right? Like we basically live together. So,
but we have learned a lot why we have chose it. And like you said, we have shortcomings. Yes. But
there's a purpose behind it.
Yeah.
There's a beauty in vulnerability, and, we just want to keep it real with y'all. So we had a hard week this week, but
literally.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, okay. So how did we hold each other accountable this week?
I think this week was busy, but we were able to both make sure that we were getting creative with how we were going about, like, just handling the holiday season, right? So that way you weren't stressed, I wasn't stressed. So there were moments where, for example, coming back to, we're going to see family. What do we want to do? Do we want to get gifts? What does that look like? You were able to kind of give me ideas. I was able to give you ideas. We kind of worked together to figure out like a nice little combination. It's like, okay, I'll take care of this, you take care of this. So that way when it came time,
we did a great job.
Did a beautiful job. I mean, I wrapped 99% of the gifts.
I can't wrap presents. And the ones that I do,
horrible.
It's very clear as day who wrapped it.
Horrible. She might as well just throw it in a plastic bag. We really did a good job, and it just removed all the stress, right? Because it's like we just held each other down. It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing this week.
Also, we tried pinch some pennies. Is that what it's called?
Penny pinch?
Penny pinching or pinching pennies?
Yeah.
It's pinching something, but we was pinching.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this, y'all, because I know we talk about finances and stuff like that a couple of times. And the reality is you have to be smart with your money.
Even if you got it like that.
Even if you got it like that, right? To be able to maximize what you can do. Because, I hear people talk a lot of times, when I make X amount of dollars, everything will be fine. But you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars and have bad spending habits and live like you're broke. So when we talk about it, a lot of times it's from the standpoint of we just want to make sure that we're being good stewards, which means that we're not squandering, we're not wasting
like
the resources that we have. Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of why I think it's just important to be smart with your finances at the end of the day.
Yeah, like for instance, usually I don't pack leftover food from like my family's gatherings. My mom usually does. In order to be, you know, resourceful and pinching pennies and stuff, I was like, you know what, let me actually pack up some food. And we usually have a lot of food left over. So I did pack food, and we had enough food for like the next 2 or 3 days. So while we were running around, we didn't have to worry about that.
And shout out to my uncle who had some fish soup.
It was the best fish soup I had. You know. But this, I would like to say, this was probably the best Christmas to date. Christmas 2024 so far has been the best.
But you're fiancés.
Yes, I am a fiancé. We are fiancés. This is our first Christmas as fiancés.
Yeah. Looking forward into 2025.
And if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. We will be very happy to answer them, crazy or not.
Yes. Yeah. But make sure you also like, subscribe. Yes. And also share, you know, if what we talk about, or, you know, just us sitting together, sharing our journey, is something that you think could inspire, encourage, motivate someone else, whether they're in a relationship or they're looking to get into one. That's also what we want, right?
Yeah, like, this is done with purpose and intent. I mean, we enjoy it. Yeah. I suppose say we enjoy it, but it's still done with purpose and intention.
With that said, another week check-in with Everything with TNC. This is TJ and
Chelsea.
And we'll see y'all next week. Later, y'all.